Hi, this is Mark, and today I'm going to be talking about the principles of the Sulim Tao. So basically I'm just going to pick a bunch of these short, small, like 4, 6, 8 character phrases that are sort of key training maxims about the Sulim Tao, the first form, and just sort of go through and explain them. If you're curious about the form or you want to learn it, there's another video where you can go and check it out. There'll be a link provided where you can go and watch the first, second section, third section and learn it. So do that first, but then also I always think it's good to both understand the principles and also put the hours in and do the physical training. So a few of the Sulim Tao principles. So the Sulim Tao comes first. Do not force progress in training. This is very important. I think it's important just to say that the Sulim Tao is the fundamental. It's your dictionary of all your moves. It contains all the the basic principles of the stance and how the hands fit together without any complex movement or turning or stepping or kicking or anything like that. Do it first. On top of that, it's also the Qigong basis. There's no other sort of soft, slow form in Wing Chun. So if you don't build that foundation, it's very difficult to progress. So it's very, very important. The next phrase is another one that I like, which is a weak body must start with strength improvement. Now they don't mean go hit the powerlifting, start doing your starting strength and grab your barbell. Really, I think the fundamental thing they're talking primarily is about the stance and the core. So to develop structural strength, which is the important strength for most martial arts. You can add power later, and I sort of classify power and strength as two quite different things. So the strength is really what they're referring to there is probably structure. This is another classic good Chinese martial arty one. Third one is do not keep any bad habit. I just imagine the old Chinese master with the beard, do not keep any bad habit, no excuses, yeah. Okay, number 4 is Yi Ji Kim Yung Ma. So this is the character 3 abduction goat stance, which is the worst named martial arts stance ever. But basically it's telling you to work on your stance. And I've got a whole videos about the stance, so we won't go into that into big detail. To maintain a good balance of strength, grip the ground with the toes. So this is a classic. Use your toes to develop strength in your stance. You don't just sort of sit on the floor. You're actually gripping. You're rooting, and this is developed throughout your Sulim Tao as well. So really do pay attention to that. The stance will be weak unless you are actually sort of gripping the ground. Then we've got some more Qi related ones, so sort of slightly more esoteric. To release Qi from the Dantian will enable the proper release of power. I'll have to do another whole video about my ideas around Qi and things like that, because I'm a scientific realist, but I do think that the principles and the feelings are important, even if I don't believe in any sort of magical or mystical energy. In essence here we're looking at center of gravity and position and breathing structure, but all connected, you see, because you can't separate out these feelings. You could say each of these are different things, but when you actually experience them, you experience them as one sort of holistic feeling of being sort of grounded and centered and structurally strong. And that's what sort of having good flowing Qi it feels like, but they didn't have the anatomy, physiology knowledge to describe all that sort of stuff. So, but the feeling that you're aiming for is exactly as described. So that's important. Okay, the next one is really, really important. Sink the elbow and drop the shoulders, guarding the center line to protect both flanks. Now, this is the key. This is sort of the if Gonglik, elbow effort, is the first section of the Chum Kill, this is sort of its maxim. Sink that elbow, drop the shoulders, so we don't have shoulders up all the time, and the elbow is sunk and on center line. And then you're guarding the center line and you're protecting both flanks. So you're not open and up and all like this, can't protect anything. Your shoulders down, elbows sunk, protecting center line. And then you'll develop that classic Wing Chun structure. And then we'll finish off with this one. There are 108 moves, all practical, all real. Thousands of variations can be used. aiming for practical use and not beauty. And this is one of my faves. So, you know, it's got 108 moves in it, so that's telling you what's in it. They're all practical, they're all real. So they don't look it when you first look at them, but there are real applications to be garnered and thought about and discovered through the practice. And then the next one is that they're not just the first impression of them. You know, it's saying thousands of variations can be used. So you've got 108 movements, but from that you can work out thousands of variations. And it's saying it's up to you to figure that out. You know, so the teacher's only going to show you the initial way, and he's going to show you a few applications and a few ways of moving that can be constructed from this form. But it's up to you to arrive at them, at the thousands of variations. And then the next thing is, what are you aiming to do with these thousands of variations? It's practical use. It's actually, you know, is this going to work? Is it going to be practical? It's not going to be beautiful. And I love martial arts that have this phrase in them, you know, because Xingyi Chen is another one that I've studied and study, and it's the same thing, you know. It's look, it doesn't look good, but it is effective. It's essentially one of their phrases, and this is a similar principle here. Alright, there's a few other Silim Tao ones. Maybe I'll do a Silim Tao 2 principles video, but there's a few to sort of start getting your head around, and I promised each of these videos wouldn't be too long. Alright, see you next time.